I beat Pokémon Fire Red while burned, poisoned, and leech seeded all at the same time. All combined, I lose 38% of my HP every turn. My opponent gains 13% of my HP, and I have a 50% attack debuff. The difficulty was not looking good. I started out, and my first problem already arose. I couldn't level, like at all. I would only live 2, at best 3 turns, and with the attack debuff, I couldn't even kill a Caterpie. No worries though, I could just catch a full team of Pokemon. Well, this would take forever, and that's honestly no fun. From the start of the game, you have access to Viridian Forest. Here, there's a chance that you encounter a Pikachu. At this point in the game, Pikachu is the only Pokemon with a damage dealing special attack, and since my special attack isn't debuffed, Pikachu is strong enough to win fights, some of the time. Slowly, I grinded Pikachu up to level 14. This also allowed me to level up Squirtle by bringing him into the fight and switching to Pikachu immediately. With 2 strong Pokemon, I destroyed Brock, getting me my first gym badge. My powerful phase clearly didn't last long, as I faced Bug Catcher Colton. This man, he had it out for me. His loadout, a Caterpie, a Weedle, and another Caterpie. I was ready to give up, right here, until I remembered grinding and scraped by with 1 turn to live. I ended up clearing Mount Moon with ease, honestly, and made my way to Cerulean City, and I immediately lost to Misty. Now look, this was just a leveling problem. It took a minute, but at level 26, Pikachu could sweep the gym. The real problem arose at the rival fight. Bulbasaur was invincible. Bulbasaur should be one-shot, if my calculations are not deceiving me. What? The thing is, once you step into Cerulean City, you can't step out of Cerulean City before you beat this fight. I needed a solution, but I only had a few Pokemon available to me. To start, I caught 4 Spearows. They know Tail Whip to lower his defense, and I genuinely thought this would work, before I remembered lowering defense doesn't mean lowering special defense. Here's the thing though, Bulbasaur would be weak to flying type moves. Right now, the only flying type I have access to is Spearow, and Spearow only knows physical moves, meaning minus 50% damage. But this still had a chance of working, cause that old Tail Whip strategy would work here. And so, I started a very long grind. After about 2 hours, I came back with my level 25 Fearow and 3 Spearow to back it up. After destroying my team with Sleep Powder, Fearow came in and it was a massacre. From here, I went through Nugget Bridge and had an easy time on the SS Sand, making my way to the 3rd gym. Here, I ran into a problem. Blastoise was weak, Pikachu was ineffective, and Fearow just wasn't very good either. I needed a ground Pokemon, so I headed to Diglett Cave and was able to catch a Dugtrio. One more problem though, Dugtrio's only good move right now is Dig, and that takes 2 turns to activate, meaning I can really only land with 1 hit. 1 hit wasn't enough, so I got a genius plan. I caught another, but Surge, he has a potion, so I needed a 3rd Dugtrio. But once I had that, my win was in my hands. Oh, I'm not going to be mad at a crit. So after my 2nd trip through Diglett Cave, I went to possibly my least favorite place in Pokemon. Like I'm genuinely trying to figure out who thought this would be fun. From here, I had a rival fight that I guess I was supposed to do later, but it was easy, so that's a good sign, right? Nah, Gym 4, 1 leaf, singular, plant, literal, weed. Swept my entire team effortlessly. There was really only one solution here, fire. I got myself a Growlithe, and at level 33, got my win with ease. I had a surprisingly easy time with Giovanni and the Rocket Hideout, and continued through the game peacefully. That is, until I faced Koga. Not only was I struggling against the trainers, but I stood no chance against him. Now once again, my current team was useless. I needed an actually good Pokemon this time, so I caught Abra. Yeah, the moveset, not looking too good. Evolved though, this thing was a menace. This man Koga was not going to stand a chance against my team, until he did. Now Muck was a different beast. What I realized though, is that over-leveling is kind of a strat, so my Dugtrio finally got a good move and took care of this thing, getting me my 5th badge. From here, I had 1 more Rocket Hideout. This one had a rival fight, but by now, I had these basically figured out. Pikachu versus Pidgeot and Gyarados, Blastoise versus Arcanine, Arcanine versus Venusaur, and honestly, anything against this Alakazam. From here, I was on to Giovanni, and this went pretty well. As I went on to Sabrina, Kadabra took care of the other Kadabra and Venomoth. But then, when Mr. Mime came out, it swept my entire team. Except for Dugtrio. That's right, this man redeemed himself, clutching up not just for Mr. Mime, but also Alakazam, and got me my 6th gym badge. That means I only have 2 gyms, and I was approaching the end fast. First up was Blaine, and I'm gonna be honest, this man was easy, so I was really just left with Giovanni, but I was even more surprised. I don't know, his whole team fell weak. Right around where this rival fight was, I realized I got some untapped potential with these 2, so I went ahead and bought a Thunderstone and a Firestone, evolving both of them. Along with this, I got everyone their signature moves. Blastoise got Hydro Pump, Raichu got Thunder, and Overheat for Arcanine. This got me through the rival, onto Victory Road, through there, and onto the Elite Four. And damn, I'll die quickly. Now judging off this first fight alone, I needed a grass type, but I swear, they put every single grass type in Leaf Green. Paris? No. Bellsprout? No. I had to settle, and it's tough to say, for an Oddish. So I took out my Master Ball, and I threw it. Now look, I spent a while getting this thing to become Gloom, but not only this, I spent hours getting everyone to about level 65, and now it was time time for the Elite Four. And by the way, just to make everything possible, I'd use heals in between fights. That first fight was a little odd. This water and ice mix always had me weak to one type and effective on the other. And honestly, Gloom did not pop off here. With Raichu, Arcanine, and Kadabra, I handled most of the team, but this Jinx was sweeping me. On my winning run, I ended up saving Blastoise and Raichu to handle Jinx. It was close though. My next foe was Bruno, and he was probably the easiest member. I handled the rock types with Blastoise, and the fighting types with Kadabra. Pretty free fight. On to Agatha. Kadabra and Arcanine kept switching out, getting wins. I was surprised, but also disappointed in Dugtrio for the poor performance. He had the type advantage after all. And now I was on to the finale of the Elite Four. Lance. Gyarados was 4 times weak to electric, so Raichu had that. The two Dragonair were just a slow struggle, but luckily all I needed from here was Blastoise. And here is the real finale. Raichu had Pidgeot and Gyarados. Blastoise had Rhyhorn. Arcanine had Venusaur. Diglett had part of Alakazam. And for Arcanine, well, Blastoise barely scraped by. But yeah, that's the end of the challenge. If you want, join up the Discord. But if you like this vid, I'm sure you'll like it when I beat Pokemon Ultra Sun with Just Wishy-Washy even better.